Alright, so Ninjakiwi has just released a huge update to Rogue Legends, and I wanted to make a quick video explaining all of these new changes. So as you guys know, there have been a lot of problems with Rogue Legends since launch, like for example that the rounds are too long and it feels a little bit stale, or maybe it's becoming a little bit too difficult at some points so people are not able to complete it in the first place. And I wanted to make a quick video on this because this is not a full update as in update 48, but this is a 47.1, which actually does go over a huge chunk of these things. So first off, Bloon encounters have been changed, and the total amount of time that you will spend on playing Rogue Legends is actually being reduced by a lot. So this is one of the biggest changes and one of the biggest concerns that players had because, for example, my first ever Rogue Legends run took 7 hours. And so with these new changes, the total amount of rounds played is reduced by about 30%. That is insane. So my first run took about 7 hours, so minus 30%, that would come out to be 5 hours now, which is, I mean, minus 2 hours. That's actually a very good decrease. Now, a second huge concern of the community was that it was a little bit too difficult. So what they did is they actually did a couple of things in this case. They increased the map category difficulty. So essentially what this means is that they were giving a difficulty rating to intermediate, advanced, and extra maps. And the higher the rating of a map means that lower speed and health modifiers will apply. So for example, if a map is, I don't know, like let's say Muddy Puddles, which is an extra map, instead of having these Bloons move faster and be stronger, they will actually be a little bit weaker. And by increasing the rating, the difficulty rating, that means that more of these modifiers will apply at higher numbers. What this means is that the game is going to be a little bit easier than it was, I guess. Something else that was also addressed was the scaling of the Bloon encounters. So you guys know that with each consecutive encounter, you would get a 5% increase of the speed of the Bloons and 5% increase of the health of the Bloons. Now that thing is getting changed, and now the speed doesn't scale as much, which is amazing. It goes from 5 to 3% per Bloon encounter, but the HP is going from 5 to 6% per encounter. So I guess you're going to be dealing with a lot stronger Bloons, but they're going to be slower, which is, I would actually prefer this because faster Bloons I think are a little bit more annoying than strong Bloons, but I don't know, I guess it's everyone's personal preference for this one. Now a lot of you guys, and me included, lost to Bloonarius. Our first run in Rogue Legends, we actually lost on stage 5. The final boss was Bloonarius, and we lost because there's, well, basically nothing that you can do, because on every percent of HP, Bloonarius would spawn 45 ZOMGs and DATs, and there was just rarely a case in which you actually beat that thing. So now Bloonarius as a boss Bloon has been completely changed, and instead of using the elite Bloonarius spawns, it now uses the normal spawns. So I think when you encounter tier 5 Bloonarius, if I remember correctly, it should be spawning blue mobs now on each percent, which is absolutely a lot better and a lot more manageable than the previous ones. So again, the Bloonarius concern has been addressed, I feel like. And finally, heroes. Heroes felt like they were useless in Rogue Legends, and when you get to higher stages, I actually, you know, was having second thoughts if I wanted to place the hero or not, just because it was not doing anything in comparison to all the other towers. So now heroes are going to receive 4 times the initial placement experience, and because we're going to be playing higher rounds, they're actually going to be leveling faster. So expect to see a lot more higher levels on the heroes in general, which is actually going to create probably some interesting strategies around heroes as well. Since this is only a 0.1 update, it doesn't obviously go through all the concerns, but I think it addresses a major part of them, and there are going to be a lot more changes happening in the future. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you're getting yourself the Rogue Legends DLC, make sure to use code EthanReed in the Bloons store, and I'm going to see you all in the next one.